I always put the size of it. So if it's 6 inch, 8 inch, 12 inch, you know what 12 inches, don't you?
I have no idea.
So I will always put in inches the size or the length of the Hello and welcome back to Cooking Haydens, and I'm Car Boot Chris, and I'm joined today Bargain Bell.
Hi again.
And we're going to be doing a bit of a question and answer session. Basically, over the last week or so, I've been asking people on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, if they want to ask me any questions about anything at all to do with eBay, reselling, YouTube and all that stuff. And we've had that many questions that I've had to narrow it down to about 10 questions because we've had too many, haven't we? So the first question is from Retro Reselling 82, who's got a YouTube and an Instagram, and give him a follow.
Right, so Retro Reselling 82 would like to know, have you ever been recognised from your videos at a car boot or in public?
Not at a car boot, but I have at a charity shop of all places, and I was in there buying some stuff to resell, and a couple came over to me and asked me if I was Car Boot Chris.
And I missed it.
And yeah, you missed it, didn't you?
I did.
My 5 minutes of fame. And this couple, they obviously watch a lot of the videos, and just wanted to say hello, so that was very nice, and they're probably watching this one now.
Hi.
So the next question is from Andrew Nolan from Money Mental UK, and you can find him on YouTube and Instagram.
Okay, so Andrew would like to know, what are the best keywords to use when selling clothes and plushes?
Clothes I don't sell a lot of, but I do sell a few bits and bobs, clothes and accessories. But I guess
You tend to go for things if they're rare, which helps.
Rare or unusual, really, because
unusual.
I'm not really an expert when it comes to clothing, so I wouldn't just keep buying clothes. I'll just buy something if it's unusual.
And ugly.
Or ugly,
Ugly
yeah.
sells.
Ugly sells. So, what I would say is with clothing, just make sure you describe it. So hit everything that you would search for. Look at the labels on the clothing. Try and hit any keywords that are mentioned on labels. So obviously the make, the size, male or female, or men's or women's or kids. If it, say for example, if you were selling a cap, you would put in the title cap and hat, both words, because somebody might search New York cap and then someone else might search New York hat. So you want to make sure that you capture both of those people. Anything else you put in clothing?
It's just all your basic stuff like the colour.
Sometimes in the title, I would put new in capitals at the end, so new, or brand new with tags BNWT all in capitals, so it stands out a bit. If it's in really good condition, put immaculate in capitals if you can fit it in. So as far as plushes go, I do sell a lot of plushes, so pretty much every plush that I sell will always have plush soft toy in there in the title. I always put the size of it, so if it's 6 inch, 8 inch, 12 inch, you know what 12 inches, don't you?
I have no idea.
So I will always put in inches the size or the length of the
the make and the model of it, so if
make,
it's Disney.
So Disney, or Disney Store if it's
or
Disney Store.
Parks.
Disney Parks if it's from one of the theme parks. So yeah, again, it's looking at the labels on the toy itself and picking up the keywords, because that is what people are going to search for to find it in the first place.
So like your figures, you'd be looking if it's like made by NECA and stuff
Yeah.
like that, wouldn't you? The brands and
The
things.
brands, the year,
Yeah.
like NECA 2005 or Mattel 2006, all those kind of things.
Just narrows it down.
It narrows it down, yeah. So hopefully that answered your question, Andrew. Okay, so the next question is from the Boot, who has a YouTube and an Instagram.
So From the Boot would like to know, what has been your best find and biggest flip? Well, actually, this was my find, wasn't it, Dave?
Well, you wouldn't have found it if I hadn't dragged you out of bed to come to a car boot sale, so.
But I still found it.
Right, it was a Nike Olympic USA jacket. There's a good title for you. All the key words. It was like a fluorescent, not fluorescent, but a reflective jacket, and it was a podium worn jacket. And we found it at a car boot sale. It was £4.
Yeah.
And it sold for £225. And it would have gone for more if it didn't have a little tiny mark here that I couldn't get off. So I had to mention that in the listing.
They had sold, haven't they?
They'd sold for about 400
yeah.
previous to that, and they were immaculate ones. So I was pretty happy with that. Best find and biggest flip. So biggest flip's done. Best find. I bought some NECA and McFarlane figures from Facebook Marketplace, and they cost £30 and I got a box full, including an Exorcist head turning thing on the bed, and loads of other figures. So that was a pretty good find, but I've not listed them yet. They're kind of buried, and maybe I'll just keep them in the end. But there's probably just the Exorcist bed figure is probably worth £70-80 on its own, and I've got about at least another 10 figures in there.
It was full of a lot of unusual ones,
unusual
wasn't it?
figures. Yeah, good. That was good. That was a good one. So the next question is from Biddle Key.
Wonder who that is.
On Instagram. What's the question?
The question is, what's your favourite part of car booting and running the YouTube channel?
Favourite part of car booting has got to be getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
It's not my favourite bit.
No, I'm joking. Favourite part of car booting is trying to find things, really. When you find something really good and you know it's either worth money or you want it for yourself and you've only paid a couple of pounds for it, it's like the thrill of the search, isn't it? I think that is the best part of the car booting.
Spotting something while you're at the back of a crowd, hoping that nobody else picks it up before you get to the front.
That is true. And then when someone does pick it up,
praying they're going to put it back down again.
Wishing that you'd not spent so much time looking at the previous stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing about car booting. Running the YouTube channel. I run that mainly because I enjoy making the videos, I enjoy editing them.
You're very techie, aren't you?
Not really, but I
You
still
are.
enjoy it. But it allows you to connect with like-minded people, other resellers, pass on a bit of knowledge. We all like giving our advice out when we've done something well or done something not so well. And I've learnt loads from YouTube channels like mine. I wouldn't be where I am now without all the advice that I'd watched in the past. So it's good to pass it on. And we've made friends, and we've met people, especially Jason T and Stacey, who run the Thrifting board. We met them over in Vegas, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, it's great to connect with people, really. You don't know what opportunities might come. So the next question is from Twitter, NJ Stretford End. And I'm sure he only asked me a question because he wanted to make me say Stretford End. So,
thanks, Neil.
Go on, what's the question?
Right, he would like to know, do you tend to find better bargains at charity shops or car boots? Is there much difference in quality of items you get from either one?
I would say 100% car boots, better bargains, because charity shops are becoming more savvy in how much they look for
Valuable or
value
more valuable
with
items.
value of items, because a lot of charity shops have their own eBay sites, which is absolutely fine. You can't blame them for that. At the end of the day, we're making money out of buying stuff cheaply that people want to get rid of. Charity shops get given this stuff, so why the hell shouldn't they try and make some money out of it? It's all going to their charity at the end of the day, and I say that from experience.
Yeah. So it is rare finds at charity shops, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes you pick up the odd thing at a charity shop. Sometimes rare, or sometimes mispriced, or I don't know. Charity shops, they seem to be asking more for stuff these days. It's harder to get a bargain. Car boots, because it's mostly personal sellers, so people selling from their own stuff. People are willing to let things go a lot cheaper. They're not willing to search on eBay. A lot of the times people say, I can't be bothered selling it on eBay, I just want to get rid of it, without even looking at what the value of stuff is. So the bargains are there at car boots.
Yeah, definitely.
What was the second part?
Do you think there's much difference in the quality of the items you get from either? Well, they can be the same items, can't they, sometimes? So the quality doesn't really...
I don't think the quality is any difference.
No. If you get something good from a charity shop, it's good, isn't it? You wouldn't pick it up or else.
Yeah. So we've got a few questions from the Car Boot Bible Boys. You should give their channels a follow. They've got Instagram, they've got YouTube, some really good videos on YouTube. So give them a follow and subscribe, of course.
The first question they'd like to know is, what is your opinion on things like people approaching your car before you've even unloaded it, asking about games and stuff? I think that face says it. I would suggest just shut the boot again and tell them that you're not selling till they go away.
This drives me mad, seriously.
And it's something we don't do.
I never, ever, ever crowd round a car boot when someone's trying to unload. It does my head in. I've been there as a car booter myself, selling stuff, and it is really annoying. So I never do it. And most of the time I'm not there early enough to get into that scrum. I do get there early, or we do, like maybe 7 o'clock. But by that time, the scrums have calmed down a bit, believe it or not. So 6 o'clock normally is a horrendous time. But that really annoys me. I hate it. I think people are nicking stuff as well, because you can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. I think all car boots should at least give sellers half an hour just to get set up before they let people in.
So the next thing they'd like to know, it's kind of a 3-part question. So the first bit is, what are your thoughts on reselling full time? Then they'd like to know, do you think it's possible to make a living from it? And they'd also like to know, if so, how would you go about it?
Oh, blimey. So what are your thoughts on reselling full time? Well, there's loads of people that do it, for starters. Loads of people. You only have to go into the Facebook groups and you can connect with a lot of people. Also on Instagram, there's lots of people selling full time and doing really, really well at it. I mean, earning some good money. So no problem with that. At the moment, I can't, because
I think it's a big step to transition from a small part-time hobby / business into full-time, because it means relying on one wage until you've got yourself.
You've got to ramp it up pretty rapidly, because, like you say, because you've got your mortgage to pay, you've got your car to pay for. So I think you have to build up to a certain level before you can make that jump. I'm currently just under 600 listings, so you know I'm probably miles off, really, to be honest.
But I suppose you've got to decide at what point you can survive on what's coming in to then be able, because you're always going to get to a point while you're doing it part-time where you can't go any further, aren't you, because of you just physically haven't got the time, the hours in the day to do it around a full-time job and everything else we do. And
well, it's difficult when you do full-time anyway, when you're already working full-time like I am. So
how would you go about it?
Right, so you'd have to be a lot more organised than what I am currently. You'd have to organise our stock a bit better, numbered boxes. You'd need a lot more space for storage. I'd even consider actually if I was full time, and I'd be well over 1,000 listings to be full time. I'd even consider getting a unit.
We have looked at.
We've looked at units in the past, but they're not feasible at the moment. But we consider getting a unit or a rental space of some kind where we could operate from. Either that or sell your house and buy a bigger house, or I'll lose the movie room.
No.
I'd have to lose the movie room.
No, not happening.
Another one from the Car Boot Bible.
So they would like to know, what is your most profitable item from car booting? Which I think we've
said that.
Yeah, we mentioned it in the previous questions.
Yeah, the Nike jacket.
And also, what is your favourite item? Which I think is very similar, isn't it, to the other question?
Yeah, it was. Favourite item was the lot that I got off Marketplace, which was included NECA figures and stuff.
Yeah. Even though this movie room is full of a lot of favourite items that he's bought and then they've landed in here.
I'll show you this one. Put my brew down. This is also a favourite, and this is Gizmo, obviously, but he's a big one, as you can see.
Is he 12 inches?
I think he's bigger than 12 inches. He cost me 50p, and he was stuffed at the bottom of a box full of plushes. So when you go past those boxes full of plush toys and soft teddies, don't be afraid to dig down to the bottom, because that's where I found him, and he's worth a fair bit, and I'm not selling him, I'm keeping him. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for connecting, asking the questions, much appreciated. And make sure you subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and follow all those people that we've mentioned in the video.
Just before we go, can I ask you a question?
No.
Please.
Okay.
When's my next holiday out of our little business? Quite enjoyed Barbados.
You know how I mentioned 1,000 listings?
Yeah.
When you get to 1,000.
Yeah. Not for a while then. Oh, well.
See ya. Say goodbye, Bargain Bell. It cost £4, and we sold it for
just under 400, was it?
No.
Was
I can't remember.
200 and odd.
I can't remember. I'll have to look that up.
Damn.
Thank you to everybody who submitted a question, who has subscribed in the past or in. I might need to do a bit of an intro, but.
Oh God.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll
Hello, baby. She's like, why have I been locked out? Oh dear. Oh.